My friends, make yourselves comfortable. Pour some tea. Yesterday, on January 30th, 2026, a yellowed piece of evidence was found in the dusty archives of Washington. A lone envelope, sealed with wax, marked Top Secret. Inside is a report that changes the perspective on the events of March 16, 1968, in the small Vietnamese village of My Lai. You have surely heard of this massacre where American soldiers lost control. But why was this kept silent for decades? Why was the document hidden and witnesses forced to remain silent? Imagine a quiet village by the river. Morning, children running along paths, women cooking rice. And suddenly, hell. Soldiers of Calley Company enter. A nightmare begins. Officially, it was a tragedy, an error in the midst of war. But yesterday's discovery says otherwise. The report bears signatures of high-ranking officials, an order to clear the zone at any cost. Strange. This is connected to the present day, to leaks from the Pentagon, new conflicts in the Middle East. Why? What if My Lai was not an accident, but a template being repeated today? I myself, digging through the archives, felt a chill. This is not just the past. This explains why leaders avoid the truth. Are you ready to learn what was hidden? But first, let's go back to those days. What pushed ordinary guys to do this? Was there someone who tried to stop the madness? Chapter 2. Background of the War. Do you remember those times, friends? The second half of the 60s, Vietnam is ablaze. Young Americans, your peers, go there with hopes of a quick victory. Jungle, heat, mines underfoot. Calley Company, over 100 soldiers, spends months hunting an invisible enemy. Not a single shot in return, only fear and fatigue. The atmosphere was heating up. Commanders demanded results. Destroy the enemy base. Villages like My Lai seemed suspicious. What if there were guerrillas there? Soldiers didn't sleep at night, losing friends to snipers. Lieutenant William Calley, only 22 years old, leads them forward. A tall lad from Texas, dreaming of a farm after service. But orders from above pressed. Leave no witnesses. It was an ordinary operation like hundreds of others. March 16th, 1968, dawn. Helicopters circle, soldiers step ashore. No one expected the morning to turn into blood. What happened in the first minutes? Why did soldiers who were jokers yesterday suddenly open fire on the unarmed? The first revelation lies ahead. Are you ready to hear the truth from the past? Chapter 3. The Key Turn. Dawn on March 16th, Calley Company enters My Lai. Women with rice baskets, old men on porches, children in puddles. Not a shot, not a movement, only peasants. But the tension snapped. Fear pushed the soldiers to open fire. The first volley at a group by the well. Screams, panic. Soldiers, having lost their minds, begin the massacre. This is the first revelation. The operation turned into a mass murder. Lieutenant Calley reports over the radio, "The zone is cleared." But inside, a nightmare. A 4-year-old boy hides in a ditch, sees his mother with a bullet hole in her chest. He will tell about this later. Why did no one stop it? Commanders heard the groans over the comms, but remained silent. War broke people, turned boys into machines. And amidst the hell, a hero appeared. But more on that later. What made Calley give such an order? Was there a secret signal from above? Chapter 4. Lieutenant Calley. Let's get to know Lieutenant William Calley better. From a small town, a farmer's son. He joined the army as a volunteer, believed in the cause. The jungle changed him. Months of losses, friends blown up by mines, fear in his eyes. On March 16th, he leads the company forward, no prisoners. His order echoes out, the soldiers obey. Calley himself shoots an old woman. Why? Fear, orders, loss of control. Later, he would admit to this. But not everyone broke. One soldier hides a child in a rice field, unable to take it anymore. Who is this hero? And why did Calley, despite everything, escape full punishment? Chapter 5. The Horror of the Soldiers. Soldiers later described this in letters and reports. They shot at children, laughed so as not to go insane. An emptiness grew inside. Horror alternated with moments of humanity. Someone shared cigarettes with survivors, but the order weighed heavy. Do you remember such stories from your fathers? They were silent for years. What's next? Who arrived in a helicopter and saw the hell? Chapter 6. Pilot Thompson. Here is the hero, Hugh Thompson, a pilot of the 25th Infantry Division. He is 25, from Georgia, a father of 3. On March 16th, he circles over My Lai in his helicopter. He sees smoke, bodies. He understands. Civilians. He lands between the soldiers and the victims, orders his crew to aim machine guns at their own. He saves 10 people, including a child, from a ditch. Calley is furious. This is his operation. But Thompson reports upward. The courage of one man against the system. Later he would say, not a hero, just couldn't watch. Did he manage to save more? And why was he later silenced? Chapter 7. An Attempt to Stop. Thompson is not alone. His mechanic helps evacuate women and children. They fly away with the survivors. Thompson writes a report about the crime, but the radio is silent. Commanders explain it as a war error, that the Viet Cong were masking themselves. They try to discredit him. Heroism in hell lifts the spirit. And now, why did the truth emerge only a year later? What was hidden next? Chapter 8. The Truth Surfaces. A year later, in 1969, photos hit the magazines. Smoke over My Lai, bodies in a ditch. The world is in shock. But yesterday's report is the key. It explains today's leaks. The same templates in Iraq, Afghanistan. Remove the evidence, a cipher from the Pentagon. The first piece of evidence, A document from a colonel to clear at any cost. Why is it relevant now? New conflicts repeat My Lai. Do you feel the connection? What else came to light? Chapter 9. Haberle's Photos. Ronald Haberle, an Army photographer. His shots are the second piece of evidence. He took 200 frames, a mother with a child in a pool of blood. They were marked not for release, but one leaked out. Haberle cried behind the lens. This revelation keeps the tension high. Is it connected to today's investigations? The third piece of evidence is ahead. Who spoke the truth? Chapter 10. Eyewitness Testimony. Third, the testimony of survivors. Pham Ham, 9 years old then, hid and saw her sister dead. Fourth, letters from soldiers opened by censors. They killed everyone on orders. Fifth, Thompson's recording about the genocide. These proofs surfaced in '71 at the trial, but why was it suppressed? It explains today's events. Leaks show hidden crimes. What did the official word say? Chapter 11. The Critical Zone. The peak is in the critical zone. Calley is convicted, but pardoned. The truth drowns in bureaucracy. Now, in 2026, a new report links it. The same officials approve operations today. This is not the past. It's a lesson for our grandchildren. What was hidden in the official version? Chapter 12. Connection to Modernity. Today's news, drones clearing zones. My Lai is the prototype. Evidence explains the silence. History repeats in the leaks. Ready for the analysis? Why does the establishment lie? Chapter 13. The official version. Officially, it was the stress of war and error. But analysis shows orders from the top. Calley was a pawn. They hid the chain of command. Personal stories of survivors will move you. Who lived until today? Chapter 14. A Survivor's Story. Pham Thi Minh, now 75. She hid in the river, saw her sister dead. Today, her grandchildren ask why. She is in her twilight years, like your parents. Do not let it be forgotten. Her memories are an echo for you. What else was hidden? Moises of the Elderly Soldier. Meadows, 82 years old. Calley wasn't the only one to blame. Everyone was. Their stories are an emotional surge. Heroes like Thompson saved honor. Why is memory important? Dissecting the lies. The official story collapsed under the facts. They hid it so as not to judge generals. A lesson for the grandchildren. Now the epilogue, the global context. International context. My Lai was condemned in the UN. The USA ignored it. Today, the same disputes are in the Security Council. Thompson's heroism is a light in the dark. What if we forget? Preserving memory. Do you remember how your fathers were silent? Tell your grandchildren. Without memory, it will happen again. Lessons are ahead. Never again. Heroism saves. Horror teaches. It is connected to the world now. The final lesson? Epilogue. Friends, My Lai teaches truth triumphs over lies. Let us preserve the memory so this never happens again. This is important for our grandchildren. The truth waits for its hour, and that hour will come. Thank you for being with me. Subscribe, share. Until new mysteries.